Feel like whenever we talk about a certain study out there, it seems like one of the side effects is always depression and anxiety. But once again, sitting, just wallowing in your own self-pity and then just being useless and unproductive is linked to depression and anxiety. Who would have thunk it? Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. Hopefully you're sitting with people that you love and it helps mitigate that response. Almost everyone has heard the saying, sitting is the new smoking. Have ya? It seemed kind of vacuous, but there's science to prove it this time. But a new study shows the impact on depression and anxiety as well, with so many people self-isolating during the early months of COVID outbreak. More people found themselves sitting for longer periods than ever. Hopefully not. Zoom meetings erased time spent walking to meeting rooms to go and sit, okay? And Netflix took over time that was previously dedicated to the gym. No, we're just going to the stupid theater where you sit. People suddenly became more sedentary during the already highly sedentary society. Yeah, exactly. So instead of just driving somewhere where you're sitting and going to sit at a desk for 8 hours a day, you could just go home and sit at a couch or sit at a home office. So again, I understand where you're going with that, but it doesn't really hold up to scrutiny. To get a snapshot of just how prevalent these changes were, a team of researchers studied 3,000 participants from all 50 states and the District of Columbia. All right, participants were required to self-report how much time they spent doing activities such as sitting, looking at screens, and exercising for the study. They also had to record how their behaviors compared to pre-pandemic times. I'm sure there wasn't that much of a change, really. All participants were required to indicate changes to their mental well-being using standard clinical scales. So again, this could be just big, broad things like being self-isolated, and some people, for whatever reason, like to be around people all the time. And then when you cut that a big part of their life completely off, depending on how freaked out they were getting by different reporting on the COOF itself. So that might have affected their mental well-being. But let's see where the correlation with sitting kind of plays in on this one. So researchers learned that participants who were meeting U.S. physical activity guidelines, 2.5 to 5 hours of moderate to physical activity each week. How about every day? Do it every day. You feel better. Before the pandemic, shown to decline their physical activity by 32% on average shortly after restrictions went into effect into 21 months ago. Oh my God. These same participants reported more feelings of depression, loneliness, and anxiety. Could be for multiple reasons. But anyways, a second study was conducted to follow up to check whether participants' behavior and mental changes over time. Researchers found that, on average, people saw their mental health improve. Oh, okay, that totally makes sense. However, for people whose sitting time stayed high, their depressive symptoms, on average, didn't recover in the same way as everyone else. I see where you have the correlation now. The participants who continued to spend large amount of time sitting experienced lower rates of mental health improvements. Cool. So the government made you sad, and then if you just continued to wallow in your own bad situation, you just continue to feel bad about yourself. I don't know why you'd have to study that to come to that conclusion, but I'm glad somebody did. Researchers believe these findings are worthy of more investigation. So would I. A lead author of the study, Jacob Meyer, said, "I think being aware of some of the subtle changes we've made during the pandemic and how they might be beneficial or detrimental is really important as we look at the other side of pandemic life." Yeah, exactly. You sit more, you stop doing the things that kind of make you happier, end up improving your life. You have those stripped away from you, and you don't have either the resources or information to make the appropriate changes to continue to pursue said goals in life. You're going to have a sadder, fatter, more sedentary society, and that's just not good for anyone. Researchers recommend people take breaks when sitting for long periods of time. Take a break from sitting? What do you, lie down? Nah, joke. People working at home must get up and move throughout the day. Obviously, researchers suggest walking around the block before and after the workday to mimic their pre-pandemic commute. There's a lot of people who live cubicle life that don't even walk around that much. All they do is just walk to the lunchroom, where they just go and sit down and eat, or just walk to the water cooler, fill up their water bottle. It's like, okay, maybe you had to go up a flight of stairs. cool. Those people would just be doing the exact same things at home. So I think it's good practice. You should just probably break up your day a couple of times and just go for a brisk walk or just stretch your legs out a little bit so your circulation improves, obviously. But just because the gym shut down, which I still lament, and I would love to be going to the gym, but I made little adjustments so I didn't miss out on a single day of exercise because running's free. And if you think that your climate's a little bit too inclement, I would love to share 2 screenshots that I have that I took from the end of February when it was 50 below here, and then also at the end of June when it was 50 above here. Okay, I ran every single day. Mostly because maybe I'm just a little bit screwed in the head, but it didn't much matter to me. I don't let outside circumstances affect what I'm doing, okay? And that's the type of experience and the type of self-determination that I like to use and I like to paint all of these videos with. And I know that this one was a little bit on the short side, but I'm just always happy to share some knowledge, some insight, and some scientific backing with everyone. People working from home must get up and move throughout the day. We already talked about that. This is believed to benefit people physically and mentally and help add structure to their day. Exactly. Set aside a little bit of time to properly meet basic exercise requirements. Get up and move, and you'll feel better about yourself. It's pretty simple. With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut. Get after it. Take care, everyone.